Hi, Assalamualaikum, and a very good morning to each one of you for being here today. First thing first, why did I bring this? You guys were probably curious about that, right? I'll talk about that later. So, before I start to talk about my speech, today I'll be talking about digital education. So basically, in this speech, I would like to propose a policy changes. So that's a quick spoiler for this. So before I started to talk about my speech, I would thank you, all of you guys, for being here, taking your very precious times to be here to hear from my speech. Okay. As you can see here, this is a video character from Mobile Legends. It is Hayabusa. So if you're familiar with Hayabusa, you'll always hear that he said, when there is suns, there are also shadows. So a reflective from these quotes is, we are here for something. We are here to talk, to discuss about something that for the education state of our nation. So what should we discuss about our nation, our education state? So for us as a training teachers, we need to consider all these things to enhance how the education works for us, how we are going to educate our kids, our students at school. So as the quotes here, which I said earlier, for us to discuss. Alright. Next, as we know, and in this year, Teachers' Day themes is about digitals. So, Guru Jabali Dida Aspirasi Negara Melayu. So, this is a reflective for me to bring this stuff, which is a digital stuff for us to talk about. Basically, the use of digital these days are going very worldwide, and everyone is making use of it, is using it to make sure that everyone is catching up with the technology. So my points from this speech is, I would like to propose a policy change that we could make to this education world, for the educators, to make it better for everyone of us. So, in this policy changes, I'm proposing that a teacher should have new standards for each teachers to educate the kids in the schools. So, problem statement for as a training teacher myself, I always experience where the elderly is not familiar enough with technology and digitals. So as my own experience, when I was in the airport of Cebu, basically, I was like, by the time I was rushing for my flights. Maybe 20 minutes from before the flight to depart, then I did check in first. By the time I was like, oh no, I'm going to rush to the flight, to the gate. But somehow an auntie comes to me and say, hey kids, can you please come here first? Then I was like, what is it, auntie? What can I help you with? Then she come and said, could you please help me with my WhatsApp stuff? I was like, oh no, I'm rushing for my flights. But maybe this auntie needs their WhatsApp to call their kids, maybe to bring she back to her house, maybe. So this shows that the state of awareness amongst the society to the digital era for the elderly is very low. from this statement, we know that by if we are aware that the elderly is not familiar enough with the digitals, as we know, there are also some veteran teachers that don't know how to use digitals so much. So, what is the alternative to this condition? Basically, as the government, they should make a new standards, as I said earlier, to the teachers to have to become an educators. As we know that educators should be a reflective of how the nation, how the future of the nation is like in the future. So basically, the teachers itself, it will develop the skills, the digital skills in the students to make the students is fair enough, they are familiar enough with the technology. So how can we make this? How can we make this happen? Basically, in general, we know that by doing some collaboratives, maybe for the teachers, maybe for the veteran teachers that don't know very well about the digitals, they probably can go to the course that is offered by governments, by university, or probably by institution of education in the Malaysia itself to make these teachers itself themselves know more about the digital skills. By doing this, we can develop more. We can develop more skills into the student itself for them to put to the students, where the student can learn how to use the digital skills, the digital stuffs with writings, as we know. And my audience, as we know, in digital era, in digital world, we know that we have digital citizenship, where this value need to be interpreted into the students' heart, where they always apply this in their hearts when they are doing their assignments, maybe when they are doing their research. They can make use of digitals by using the right things, by using the right procedure, make citation, and also doing those stuff properly. So, what is the benefits? So, the benefits, as I said earlier, where the students can know more about digitals. So, what is the what is the other benefits of these policy changes? There are a few policy changes that I want to talk about for these policy changes. First thing first, the benefits of these policy changes is to improve teaching and learning experiences, where by using the digital tools we can use some stuff like Google Classroom, we can use Google Meets, Zoom, and all those stuff to make our education station is better. As an example, in a case where we are in IBG itself, we are ourselves in IBG, we are usually you have one Google Classroom for each class that we are attended, we are in, to make ourselves up to date with the class. So, as for me myself, if my teacher is not familiar enough with this Google Classroom, when I was in the MCO, I was like in by the time I'm not familiar with Google Classroom because I never used it before, and my teacher as well. By the time I was facing some challenges, like I was in my house, so, looking for my brother. I was searching my brother, how could I do this? How could I join this class? And he asked me, you need to do this, you need to do this, and I do those things, and then I know. So on the other hand, my audience, we also can increase the students' achievements by doing these policy changes. So why is it related from teachers being higher up the level? Then how can it affect the improvement, the achievement of the students itself? So as we know, digital provides many information, so much countless information for us, as we can access it just using our nail, as we always say, just a tip of a finger. We can access so much information to be used in our daily life. So as me myself, how does this digital skills can help me learn more about my academical stuff? Just like me myself, I always use this stuff, just like ChatGPTs. I do it with those Google Scholars to search for information. Just like when I was out of clue, just like in class, when I was in my mathematics class just now, I was wondering what is my lecturer is talking about. I don't know that policy of new policy that is introduced by the education government. So I was asking my friends, hey, what is the policy? And he replies, policy? I don't know. I don't know neither. Me neither. I don't know. I was like, by the time I opened up my laptop and I looked for the ChatGPTs and I said and I asked it, what is this? What is this policy? Then I got the answer. So this shows that it is very important for us to use the digital stuff to make our achievement is better when we are encountering the obstacles of learning. Okay, next, the other benefits that we have in by leveling up these things, we also can enhance collaboration and communication. So if teachers themselves can introduce the students to know more about digitals, then the students can apply those digital skills to make sure that they can communicate better in social media, so that they are not join the cyberbullying styles that is very bad for the society itself. So moreover, before that, talking about cyberbullying, my friends once is in that condition where she got cyberbullied, where she is bullied by her classmates in the social media, saying that she's cringe, is doing those TikTok things that is very unusual for those people. Then it's hilarious that how bad does cyberbullies affect a students. So why should we take away those things from this world? So this is to indicate that how bad cyberbullying could be in someone's life. How can it affect how they live, how they expose themselves to people, how confident they are, and so more. So moving on to the next benefits is by using those things, by enhancing the policy of digital among the educators, we can be prepared for the what we say. We can be prepared for future challenges, as we know, in this era of digital, we are exposed that so many new digital things, that digital stuff that are upcoming next to us. So by having those tiny little skills in this course, by knowing how to use Canva, knowing how to use laptops, knowing how to use Google Sites, Google Classroom, and those stuffs, we can adapt more to the things that we probably don't know by the time, but we can adapt faster. So, just talking about those many benefits, we also by exposing the students to digitals, as we know, digitals is also have its downside. So just now we have seen all of the benefits for us when we enhance the use the digital skills among the educators to everyone. So next, I want to propose one more policy changes and one more efforts in enhancing the use of digital education in our nation. The second one is fostering partnerships. So what does it mean by fostering partnerships? So in my opinion, the fostering partnerships is talking about how we collapse between various stakeholders. Maybe we can collapse with the government, with private sectors, with the expertise who know more about the digitals. As example, in this IPG we have some lecturers that have the title of technologies, which have worked for the digital company before becoming a student, before becoming a lecturer at this university. So by doing this, we can know more about digitals by learning from their experience. So just like me myself, I have a lecturer who is technologies, which we know as expertise in digitals. So if me myself, I don't know how to do these apps, how to use it very well, I refer to him and ask how to use this, how to use it, etc., etc. Then next, we know that technology plays a vital role in these collaborative efforts. So as students, we know that we need help by using the technology. Not everything we know. As example, as I said earlier, I have a lecturer with technologies know about digitals. We can use the essential devices, software, and so on to enhance how we use the digitals. So by having this software, we can learn more about, we can experience the best experience to learn and to boost our academical states. So next, for example, in the School of Malaysia, we have schools that are doing collaborative with some company like Apple, like Casio. We have the collaboration to use use their stuffs like calculators. We buy iPads from them. We use it to enhance how we learn, how we take notes, how we jot down notes in class, how we integrate. So for your information, what is very interesting from Apple's these days, we have digital education, which is AI, Apple Intelligence. So this is not sponsored by Apple, but I want to talk about Apple Education. Apple Education is somehow help people so much in their life. It is not the official thing is not it's not how is it has not been used officially yet, but the beta version is. How does it works? Probably, as we know, Apples before this don't have calculators, right? But now, by the integrating of digital stuffs to the Apples itself in the iPads, now we can use the Apple Pencil to jot down notes, questions, and we can have the answer. Then the AI could help us by doing the task that we are doing. So next, stop talking about Apple intelligence. So ladies and gentlemen, before that, other than just doing the stuff like to collab with Apple, Casio, and whatsoever, we can also collab with non-profits too. We have a significant roles to play, where this organization can help teachers to develop their skills in digital education, digital stuffs, digital skills, where they can improve how they use technology, how they use digitals, and how they integrate the digital itself to how the student learns in the classroom. As I said earlier in the beginning of my speech, where we use classroom for the lecturer to give notes to the students, and it helped the students so much where they can access the note wherever they want. So how does this change how the student learn? So in this case, the students, they can where as example, as me myself, just like I'm going to Lotus this night, but tomorrow I have an examination. So how should I do it? So we know the ease where we use the digital is we can access it anywhere else. So we can access the lecture notes, the tutorial slides, and we can learn. We can read that stuff by how to say it? We can read these stuffs in our leisure times, like when we are going to Lotus, maybe we are waiting for the foods. When we are going to not Lotus, we are going to the food court. Maybe we are waiting for the food. Then we can also watch for ourselves to learn, to prepare for our examination next day. So next, moving on to the educational institution. Sorry. So what is the efforts that we can do? What is effort we can do using the educational institutes? So with these educational institutes, just like IPG itself, we has offered the course for digital learning for each person, each students of the IPG. But if it's for veteran teachers, maybe we can recommend to the government of education to expand the course, as it can be used and it can be joined as a course for the veteran teachers to know more about digital skills and improve it where they can use it is in their everyday teaching and learning session with the students. So moreover, the other benefits of those policy changes is we can make new innovation, new things. As example, this lately in the February of 2024 in the IPG campus Pulau Pinang, we have the innovation competition, where the students are necessarily to join this competition, where they need to make innovation. As an example, I've seen in those competitions where the students themselves, they are doing some innovation for to help the students make making application, making games as guidance, as to help the students know better about the lecture. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we know that there are also a saying that always says that not everything shines is valuable. When this is emphasized that not everything that that shines, there are also always a negative side that we need to consider. It is also same as these things, these policy changes. So, from the policy changes itself, we know that there's also potential concerns that we know that they're going to happen, as it is are going to make the students overexposed to the technology, to the digital skills, and many more. The first potential concern that we have is the students is probably not using the digital citizenship well in their in how they use the technology. As we know, when we are using the technology, we need to use the proper way, using the digital citizenship, where we need to know the right ethic, the right way, for us to get information, how to reuse the information for us to take it as our task, as our assignment when doing things. So, other than that, my ladies and gentlemen, that my very intelligent audience, other than that, the negative sides or potential concerns that we know is the student itself, the youngsters, they are more likely to be more attracted to the screen when they have opportunity to talk to people, to socialize. So this brings a very negative impact to everyone in the world, where it's going to make the relationship between people not as good as they are always socialized. Other than that, by overexposing our kids, our students to these digital stuffs, we also know that we can make the students to be more likely to get sick, because by them more spending a lot of time just in front of screen, playing games, when they are overexposed with digital, where if they are overexposed, then they have their iPads, their phones, their laptops. They are intentionally going to explore the world of gaming in the computer itself. So I'm not saying that playing games is bad, but kids are probably going to use it overly. They don't do those things moderately. So next, we also have when the students when they have the opportunity to use digitals, they are also most likely to be more lazy to get information, because they know they can get that information just like by searching it online. But this is the downside of the digital skills, overly exposed digital skills to them. Ladies and gentlemen, why did I say this brings the students to a mentality where when they know that we don't need to know these things, because it's already provided in the search engines such as Google's. When you don't know those things, then just go search it online. So why should we overcome this? How should we overcome this? So how should we overcome the laziness among the student itself? We need to let them be exposed to the benefits of being of being exposed to the information, when they need to remember, when they need to learn it with their hearts, not just for doing their tasks, their assignments, but just for their living. They learn for living. So this is one of the solutions. So the other position concern, the last one that I would like to talk about today is I'm going to say that the students, when they are overexposed with the digital skills, they are most likely to be exposed to the cyberbullying. Yeah, cyberbullying. They can be maybe a bully or the one who has been bullied. So what can this make this affect the students? So the students is more likely to be stressed, and they are put the pressure on themselves when they hear the bully said something bad about them. So that's the potential concerns. So next, I think that's it for potential concerns. So to end my speech, I would like to give you guys one more quote, which is saying, this very sad to end this, but I'm going a lot of self-esteem, fighting my own self-doubt for being in front of you guys. There's so many of you guys here. Thank you so much for being here. So the quotes is when they are a beginning, they are also an end. So here we come to the end. So before I end my speech, I would like to tell you guys to highlight back the importance just now, which is the benefits where the students can learn more, they can learn using digital stuffs, learning using Google Classroom, and also there are potential concerns now. I just say where they can be bullied, they can also be lazy, and those stuffs. So we as a training teacher, we need to overcome this. We need to work together as a team to make this effort become real. To make this effort not just at my mouth, but someday become a real things. So that's all from me. Thank you, everyone.